Story out of Cuba. CBS News has learned private American citizens may have been targeted by the same sonic attacks experienced by government workers in Havana.
Well, Steve Dorsey of CBS Radio is the reporter who broke the story, and he's been continuing to gather more information this evening. Steve joins us now on the phone. And Steve, thank you for joining us. Nobody knows more about the story than you do. You did break it, and it seems like every day there are new developments. What have you learned about civilian Americans visiting Cuba who were apparently targeted?
Well, the State Department is now telling us that it's received what it calls a handful of reports from civilians, private American citizens who have stayed in Cuba since the travel warning came into effect last month and have reported similar symptoms to those reported by U.S. Embassy personnel who have been targeted in Havana by these bizarre attacks over the last nearly year.
Okay, so the Cuban government has denied involvement in these attacks. So what have you heard about who might be behind them?
Well, we've heard a number of different theories, and we know U.S. investigators are testing all of them, including how directly Cuba may have been involved despite its denials. We also know the U.S. is looking into whether some kind of rogue element of the Cuban regime, perhaps a splinter from the massive Cuban intelligence apparatus, could have been behind this. And finally, there's also the possibility that a third country, perhaps a U.S. adversary like Russia, could have been involved to drive a wedge between what were warming relations between the U.S. and Cuba.
Now, Steve, I know you've done a lot of reporting on the story, and I know that it's been reported that some of the victims were actually treated in South Florida, but we have not heard from any of the victims of these sonic attacks. Is that correct?
We have not heard directly from some of them yet. We've heard some secondhand information, but we do know that as of my newest reporting, these victims have been relocated to another hospital in the Northeast, and that they're no longer being treated by the University of Miami. Apparently, the State Department and some of these victims were upset with the treatment by the University of Miami, and specifically one doctor there, and that led them to seek experts, particularly neurology experts, elsewhere.
So do you know how seriously these people have been hurt?
We know that most of them, if not all of them, have been seriously hurt by this, with symptoms including hearing loss, nausea, constant headaches, cognitive issues, including forgetting common words and phrases. We know some of them have concussions, and now we're also learning about eye issues from some of these victims with trouble focusing and even paralyzed eye muscles.
All right, Steve Dorsey from CBS News Radio joining us on the phone from Washington. Steve, thank you very much for joining us, and I know you're going to stay on top of the story. It has so many ramifications with people now worried about traveling to Cuba, and now the changes that President Obama made in relations between the United States and Cuba, totally up in the air. Folks don't know where it's going to head now.
Yeah,
because
it's still developing all the time.
And we have more